want to show y'all something. So this trunk just slammed right next to me. There's his car parked in front of me, first of all. And then this is parking right next to me. But that's not what I want to show y'all. Uh, I, Occasionally I'll see people with white and blue Epstein Island shirt. Like the Epstein Island stripes. I'll see people with shirts that have white and blue stripes like that. Occasionally. There's this guy he's always thinking on me. And he's got one of those shirts on today. He's got the Epstein Island stripe shirt. I always see that, or I see that occasionally. I'll see the Epstein Island stripe shirt. Yeah, occasionally people see people with the Epstein Island stripe shirt. Which, I mean, I don't know if that's what it symbolizes or what, but occasionally I'll see that. And it's honking at the place where they sink. And those sinks, they turn synced at the same time as each other. And has a 33 in his tan. But yeah. And then, like, you know, and then I'll see it after I say that too. Like, after I say it's the Epstein Island stripe shirts, I'll still see the Epstein Island stripe shirts. And I see the A113 license plates, which means adrenochrome. So I see the A113 license plates, which means adrenochrome. And then I see this truck's backing up. And he's driving forward as a white car drove in front of me. Yeah, it's just weird. Sometimes I'll see stalkers with those shirts on. And I've seen children with those shirts on, with the Epstein Island striped shirts on. And like I said the other night, I've seen children synchronizing with pedophiles. The stalkers that are pedophiles. I'll see children running by in front of me next to a pedophile stalker. A child without his parents anywhere in sight next to a pedophile stalker synced up. So I'll see the Epstein Island striped shirts, I'll see pedophiles stalking, pedophiles synchronizing with children stalking, A113 license plates, and occasionally the pizza symbolism, whatever. That, I don't know, this whitey, this bunch of white behind me, and she's got a red shirt in there. And I don't know, man. They walking up, see? Oh. Oh. Walking up, see? See a black car turning in front of me. It's this black and silver car, and he just honked. And it's like at that pole where they sink. And then I'm at the train tracks, and it sink, black and silver sink. We should get some stalkers out here to clean up all this trash everywhere. Look at all this trash. We should get a stalker out here to clean up the trash. Instead of sending them out to stalk, we should send them out to clean up some trash. Instead of walking around like a bag of trash. Walking up sink, like a bag of sink trash. This car is like almost in front of me when I walk by a corner. I think he was synchronizing. And I heard this engine sound behind me and I think was synchronizing. And he's changing lanes as that whitey drove by me. He's changing lanes, sync. Changing lanes, sync. And I think the whitey just changed lanes when that car turned. Lane change, sync. Lock it up, sync. Turn the car, sync. U-turn, sync. Sync, sync, sync. Sync. White car, sync. Arm out the window, sync. Sync, sync, sync. Sync, sync, sync. Two car, sync. B9, sync. B9, whitey. Whitey butt, sync. Sync, sync, sync. They say see a shrink. They say see a shrink, but the shrink gonna sink. And sink, 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 sink. Oh, sink, sink. Oh, sink. Oh, sink. This car just turned right now over there. Sink, sink, sink. Sink, 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 sink. Sink, 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 sink. Gotta sink. Gotta sink. Gotta sink. Oh, sink, sink. Sink. The whitey just can't stop sinking. It's gonna turn off right now. It turned off right when I turned my camera. It parked right next to me though. And then that was a white SUV, the Pizza Hut one, and it was probably trying to sink at the corner, but he was late. Sink, sink, sink. Gonna sink. Everyone gonna sink. Sink, sink. Coen Brothers. Coen Brothers. They're the best. Big Lebowski.
Vincent, come on. Guys, let's go look at this Big Lebowski.
What's it called?
Vincent, come here.
What's it called? Nicolas Cage. And then A Serious Man. And then Burn After Reading. And then like all the movies are fire.
Can I see? Can I see?
I'm curious. It's going to be a good one.
I want to think about. Hey, can I see? I'll go to the theme forever.
Walking up, see. When I came in the door, they looked like they were walking up, see. And then they was like walking around me. And I think they were walking up, see. So, walking in the door right now. And you just walk up and stop here, and then I hear the door open. And then they just be like flipping over papers and like making like different sounds, and I'll hear like receipts print out synced, and I'll hear different sync things, and people coughing synced, and then I'll hear doors slamming over there synced, and people walk by synced with red shirts, and people sync, and then you walk up. Was that guy synced? Is it synced? Was it synced? Walk up, synced. What is it? There's a car driving by right when the door opens. This loud silver car and this white SUV right when the door opens. Walking up, see. I think a guy made a 6 sound next to me over there. sink sounds. And then this car door is closed on this silver car. Right? There's this black truck pulled up behind it, and it's just logging it synced. Honking it synced. Sync, sync, sync. This butterfly might be a stalker butterfly. I don't know. Not sure about that one. That car looks stalkered up. I think this car is stalkered up, and maybe the guy on the bike. Maybe the guy on the bike. I don't know. I saw a red car driving by back there when the blue car drove by, and that red car is turning at the curb, and then they're making sounds over here now. And it seems safe to me getting across the street. They're like drilling or something. And a blue truck turned behind me when the blue car drove by me. In a corner of a building, and I think I saw a whitey bot way ahead of me on the street. It was probably a whitey bot. In the corner of the building, red shirt. Oh. I see other stalkered up looking cars that look very stalkered up. And then a black car just turned in front of me when that drove by me at a corner. And then he's meeting this car, and there's a white SUV driving out behind him. And I think they're synchronizing. Is it synchronizing? Is it synchronized? I think it was synchronized. I think it's synchronated. Is this car gonna synchronate at the train tracks? This loud truck starts driving right after I get over the train tracks. It seems synchronated. Looks like a black and silver sync to me. And then there's a red car and a red car, and there's a red truck back there. They're probably sinking. He's gonna drive by me at the alley sinking. We got a 64 sinking. Synculations. This tan truck. They always drive by around here. I don't know what the sync thing is. I don't know. I always see sync heads right there though, and that 55 drove by me when the tan truck turned. And it's white in front of me, and there's this red truck in front of me with the red car with the 64, and then there's another red car. And there's people getting across the street right now over there. And I saw other sync heads over there, I think. And then we're at the center of the street right now, and then he's gonna get across the street with me. He's getting across the street right now, and it's white. And this pulled up, and it's synculated. Silver, silver, B2, silver, silver, black, silver. Whitey bot. And then this just drove out. It looks synced with the other syncs. This is non-stop syncs, man. This is. Like I could just go on all day, just recording all day. If I could. If I wanted to. I don't really want to either, but if I could though, if I just had an infinite battery life on my phone, I could just record this all day. And it's always syncolated. And it's pulling up to the intersection right now. This has a 22. And this is pulling up right here. And this is pulling up there. And they look synced. And they're getting across the street at the same time each other. And there's another black car at the same time. And it was also there where that happened. And it was synced. And it was synced. And it was synced. Oh. A113. See the A13 sometimes. A13. Like, does that mean adrenochrome too? I guess. I don't know. Male guy is going in the door right now. And he's gonna come out the door synced, and then he's gonna go in another door synced. And he's gonna sync, and then it's turning synced, and sync. And he's getting out synced, sync. Turning synced at the one, getting out at the other one, walking out sync, 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 sync. Walking out sync. I think the back of the trailer, the semi, is at the corner of Harbor, or at the corner of 411. I think as he sinks, I think he's walking up, sink, walking up, sink, walking up, sink, walking up, sink. Oh, he came back out, and I hear him talking, like, right before a crosswalk. Just heard him say something right there, so he's doing the sync talking, I guess. Sync talking, walking up sync, talking up sync. Is that guy sinking? He's getting in a blue truck as this blue 22 is the intersection. He opens his door right when the blue truck gets to the intersection. This has 64. Whitey's pulling up right when it drives, and it's sync. Pulling up sync. Whitey sync. Whitey sync. Sync, sync, sync. Cop sync. Piglet sync. Oink, oink, sync. Sync, sync, sync. Oink, oink, sync. This just started when I walked by it. It's taking off at the center of the street. And there's a black and silver car over there. Like, there's a black car on this intersection, and there's a silver car way over at the other intersection that's like way down the street. And walking up, sing, 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 sing. Whitey fart, sing, 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 sing. Would you rather a red hat in a blue car or a blue hat in a red car? It doesn't matter as long as you're not syncing on me. I mean, if you're not walking up sync, like if if you got a red hat and a blue car and you're not synchronized, then that's cool. I don't care. If you're doing to synchronize, then you just look stock target. You're like, doo, doo, walking up, sync, 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 sync. Oh, oh. Is he gonna be sync? Walking up, sync, 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 sync. You're sinking. This car just drove by at the curb. Sync. This car just turned at the center of the street. It was just sitting there and it turned at the center of the street. I think it was sync heads, and that's a sync head. I think they're all sync heads. I think that's a blue truck, and there's all a bunch of blue cars at the train tracks. There's 3 blue cars at the train tracks, and he's meeting a 1 light car at the intersection. And it's driving by here with the 1 light car. And then here comes a white. And he's gonna be walking up, sync. Walking up, sync, 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 walking up, sync. Walking up, sync, 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 sync. And then it stops, and then is he waiting for the ATM or something? Oh, he's driving again. Oh, white car at the same time. Oh, and then this guy just got out of his silver truck. I don't know if he did it synced. I feel like he did it synced. Sync, sync, sync. Sync, sync. Everyone sing, sing, sing. Everyone sing, 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 sing. Everyone sing, sing. Everyone sing. Everyone sing, sing, sing. Everyone sing. This bird with the whiteys. Sing, sing, sing. Sing. The light turned yellow, synced. Right when I stepped over the curb, the light turned yellow. And then I hear his nail gun right when I stepped over this. And then I sync. And that white van turned sync there too. And they're synced. A whole lot of sync. Black, white. What are they meeting at the intersection? Is it black? Is it black sync? Black, silver sync? Oh, it's blue. It was at the exact same time. And then that's a 66. And then there's a motorcycle. And then I see, I don't know. The motorcycle was meeting that other car at the intersection. Like, I think it was synced. This whitey is definitely synced, and this whitey is synced. They're synced. He's turning right now with whitey. Whitey synced. He's driving in front of me. Sync. Whitey bot sync, sync, sync. He just walked up in the trailer. Sync, sync, sync. Here's a sync. Here's a sync. There's a sync. Everywhere sync. Sync, sync, sync. Everywhere sync. Everyone sync. Sync, sync, sync. Sync, sync, sync. 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 Just taking off the 88. I think he turned sink at the corner of the building. It's 88. Sink, 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 sink. And then he's coming back around at the other corner of the building. He's turning out sink at both corners of the building. Sink. Red shirt and a blue sink. Or pink shirt. Sink, 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 sink. White truck sink, 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 sink. Everyone sink, sink, sink. Everyone sink, sink. Sink at the center of the street. Sink, sink. Sink at the center of the street. Sink at the curb. Sink at the curb. Sink at the sidewalk. Sink at the sidewalk. Sink, sink, sink. Everyone sink. Sink, sink, sink. I don't know what that green car was doing. Maybe it was the corner of that building over there. I don't know. Those green cars, though. Walking by the corner of the Freemason building right now. I think it was a tan car. And I'm walking by the door right now. Doo-doo. Officer Doofy. Doo-doo. Officer Doofy reporting to synchronize. Red truck, sink. Loud red truck. Loud red truck, sink, 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 sink. Car coming, sink. Right now, sink, 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 sink. Right now, sink, sink, sink. Double up, sink, 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 sink. Sink. Oh. And now there's no cars after I cross the street. And then, do you hear that? I don't know what that sound is, but do you hear it? It's like... I don't know if he was opening, if he's like putting the ramp down on the semi-trailer back there or something. I think I saw some sinks, and I think this is a sink, and I think it's synced. I think it synced. I think it's a sink. 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 I'm almost at the door. They like to sink at that door, though. Here's FedEx. And this car is driving by at the same time, and I'm hearing this loud truck behind me at the same time. This loud white 44. And then the FedEx is driving by at the corner of the building. I think it's synced. This car just drove out in front of me when this other car drove by me. It's like the front of the line of cars. And then and now I hear the train horn. And it's a sink. It's always a sink. That was at that door. I don't know. Was it synced? I don't know if they drive by at every door or just certain doors. I see a bunch of red and blue over there right now. I see more red right now as I walk up to the intersection. I see a lot of red over there right now. And it's right now. And then I see the red right now. And I see a white truck over there right now. And a white SUV that was probably right in front of me at the same time. And I think it's a Sync. I think it's a Sync. Sync. I think it's at the corner of the house where they always drive by every fucking day. Sync, sync, sync. At each corner of the house. That's a tan truck, and they always drive tan trucks. Sync, 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 sync. That's tan car, is it one? What's happening right now? Is it Sync? Is it? This tan truck just turned there. This white SUV and this white truck going the opposite direction are here. And then multiple white cars that look synced. And then the red cars that look synced. And then red and blue cars that look synced. Then two silver cars that look synced. And then this white car looks like it's gonna sink. These two black cars are coming out in front of me as the white car sinks. And it looks synced. And it looks synced. Really fucking synced. Sync, 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 sync. And there's a plane. And he's gonna fly behind me, but is the ambulance gonna drive in front of me when he flies behind me or something? Where is he? Alright, he's like over me right now. There's a white truck with a trailer in front of me when he flies over me. I don't know if I caught the white truck with the trailer in front of me, but there was though. And I think it was synced. Yeah, sync, 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 sync. And this white truck with the trailer. And what else is synced? I think those white cars were synced. I think the red car with the blue shirt there was synced. That was a sheriff. He was probably synced. I don't know what he was doing though. This tan truck and that black car look synced, and the semi was over there at the same time, and then there's a white truck in front of me at the same time. It's there and it looks synced. Looks synced. Black, silver, sync, 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 sync. Tan truck, sync. As I'm walking up to the fucking street. Tan truck, sync. At the fucking street. Sync, 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 sync. Right at the street. Sync, sync, sync. Right there at the street. Everybody sync. Sync, sync, sync. Arm out the window of the white sync. This car is taking off right now. I think it's synced. This car, I think it's synced. There's two. Look at the military license plate lighty bot. Yeah, and that was a red car. The other car that was syncing with the whitey bot. So it was like 2 red cars taking off out of the parking lot. And then he's turning with the whitey bot. Sink, sink, sink. And there's another red car, and he's probably sinks. Sink, sink, sink. Sink in the street. There's a butterfly flying in front of me as the red car drives by me. Exact same time. Sink, sink, sink. Everybody sink, 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 sink. Walking up, sink. And then I heard a sound in the trailer over here. I don't know if it was synced or not, but was it? And I heard another sound in the trailer there, so I think it was this bird and these. Oh! He's yelling out his window. He's like, "Yo, fuck that shit!" And he's looking at me like he wants to kick my ass or something. And he's like, "Sink, sink, 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 sink." Woo! Woo! Two blue cars at the same time. And there's a red car. And I'm hearing, and there's a red car with a red car. I heard a door close or something, like a car door or something. And it's 2 blue cars at this one end of the bridge, and then 2 red cars at the other end of the bridge. It was 2 blue cars at one end of the bridge, and then 2 blue cars at the other end of the bridge. Sink. Sink, silver sink, 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 sink. I'm almost there, Whitey. Calm down, Whitey. Red and blue, sink, 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 sink. Red and blue, sink, 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 sink. Red and blue, sink. The red and blue, sink, 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 sink. Who's this farting behind me? Is it a stalker? Is this a stalker turning right now? I hear the train horn. And then I hear the sink farter again. I think it's a sink farter. That looks synced. That looks synced. I don't know about the rest of the cars. Probably a few of them are synced. That looks synced. Center Street with the silver car turning in front of me at the same time. That looks synced right here. Synced. That looks synced. The sidewalk. That looks synced. That truck, I don't know. There's a red truck and there's a blue car right after. He's on, like, at the corner of the house. I see a male guy over here. He's probably gonna sing. Probably gonna be walking up sing. I'm walking across this right now and there's a white car and he's walking up sing. Walking up sing. Sing, sing, sing. 2 cars at the other side of the street. Sing, sing, sing. 2 cars at the other side of the street. Sing, sing, sing. I think the tan truck met a tan truck at the intersection. Yup, it's a tan truck. It's tan truck met at the intersection. And then red and blue. And he got his arm out the window in blue car. And then I heard a sound over there right now. Some banging sound. It was like, walking up, sing, 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 walking up, sing. Walking up, sing. That was at the corner of the house. Walking up, sing. There's a bunch of silver cars driving up the street. There's a lot of silver cars coming up the street. He's meeting the red truck at the intersection as this drives by. And the Ponca Express van is almost at the same time as the red stalker truck. Why didn't they use the red Ponca Express van though? They got the red one. They could have synced it with the red truck and made it more stalkered up. Come on, man. It's got red on it though, so. Here comes the whiteys. Walking up, sing. Walking up. Walking up, walking up. Walking up, sing. Whitey. Whitey. Whitey be walking up, sing. Whitey be walking up, sing. There's a car turning behind me. I don't know. I feel like it's the sink heads again. Just got a feeling it's the sink heads. I don't know about that truck though. Is it walking up? Got a 322. 322. 322. And then this is pulled up as the light is turning, and it's got like a something, some type of emblem. It's probably a stalker. Skirt, walking up, sing. Right as that loud car started to drive behind me through the intersection, I heard a sound that way that was like a hammer or some shit. And what was it? That has a 222 right now. That's at the curb. This is a whitey bot. This is a stalker. This is a stalker, I think. I think they're all stalkers. Definitely the whitey. I saw a male truck turning, I think. Was he stalking? Doesn't matter how far away they are. If I see a male truck, doesn't matter if I can like barely see them or how far away they are. If I see a mail truck or a FedEx or a garbage truck or a UPS or a cop or a school bus, any of those things, it'll be synced. This has a 99 sync. Sync, 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 sync. Sync, 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 sync. I think this bug was synchronizing and he's landing right next to me now. And synchronized grasshopper. Sync, sync, sync. I'm lighting, he was white. I think he's synced. This car looks a little late, but I think it's synced with the 33 right now. 33 sync. 33 sync. Sync, sync. 88 sync, 88 sync, 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 88 sync, 88 sync, 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 88, 88, 88, 88, 88 sync, sync, sync. Do do. Sync, sync. Do do. Sync, sync, sync. Do do. Sync, sync. Do do. Oh. What about sync? Sync, sync. What about sync? Sync, sync. What about sync, sync, sync? I think he had an 84. I think he had the 84, and there's two Whitey bots. And this is probably going to turn off sync, 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 sync. I don't know. But it might. Usually, when I see a leaf blower or a weed whacker or a lawnmower, it's walking up, sync, 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 sync. Walking up, sync. So is it walking up, sync? Is it walking up, sync? Is it walking up, sync? I think she started walking the other way next to me. It's just like really slowly though. Like I see her like just like moving her feet when I walk by, and then I look back and she's walking the other way. I think she's synchronizing. I don't know. Is it gonna turn off right now? Walking up, sync. It's turning off at the center of the street. Walking up, sync, sync, sync. Walking up, walking up, walking up, sync. This white car just turned right here. And I heard someone talking behind me at the same time, I think. See, but over here, and these areas, it's a little chiller. It's like, I mean, usually I would be hearing engine sounds and dogs barking and stuff, but right now it's quiet. This car is right here, the alley, or driveway, I guess, but looks synced. What's over here? Any sink fish down here? Sink frogs? Do they got those? Do they got sink kangaroos or what? How deep does the sink rabbit hole go? I know they got sink rabbits. I hear a truck with a trailer in front of me right now. I know they got the sink rabbits because I've seen sink rabbits. I saw a sink rabbit like a week ago or something. It was perfectly synced. And he's walking up sync. Hopping up sync. So, I don't know. Do they got sink elephants? So I've seen sink dogs, squirrels, birds, rabbits, bats, insects of all different kinds, butterflies, grasshoppers. A truck just drove by right now. A car just drove by right now too. I think they're both sober. And one was going this way and the other one was going this way when they got across. And it was walking up to right at the curb, walking up to right at the curb, right at the curb, walking up to But yeah, I've seen synced dog, and then the dogs bark synced, and birds chirp synced, and I think I heard a cat meow synced one time. And the cats walk around synced, and the dogs walk around synced, and the birds fly around synced, and the squirrels walk around synced, and they climb up the trees synced, and the squirrels yell at me synced, and there was a squirrel yelling at me synced on the video the other day. On the one when the dog attacked me right after that. and the dog was walking up synced. He was barking synced. The squirrel was yelling at me synced out the tree. And he was yelling synced like more when I got across the street. And my grandma's dogs always synchronize on me when I go over to my grandma's house. And it'll be walking in the room synced, and it'll be barking synced. And it'll be walking up synced. I saw 3 white SUVs when I walked up. I don't know. Were they all stalkers? I don't know. Probably better cross the street before I get to the intersection, otherwise there's gonna be 100 cars on it. Probably better jaywalk. Oh no, there's a white SUV right before I got across the street. Was he walking up, Saint? I don't know. Were they walking up, Saint? What's walking up, Saint? Is this walking up, Saint right now? Oh! Oh! Walking up, walking up, walking up, walking up. White, 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 walking up, white, 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 walking up, white, white, white. Woo! Woo! Sing, sing, sing. I think I'm gonna finish that song later on live stream though. We'll do it on live stream. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Walking up, see. It's gonna be a masterpiece. I see a bunch of white cars with trailers back there. Just a bunch of white cars with trailers. I don't know. It's right when I walk up to the street. Walking up, walking up. Walking up, sing. Walking up, sing. Walking up, sing. Then I hear this engine sound behind me, and I see this car turn in front of me, and I don't know if it was synced or not, but it probably was. And there's an alley right here, so it probably definitely was. Hey, walking up, and this guy just jumped down right as his car is approaching, and then he's running, and I'm here, and he's running right there, and oh! And then, oh! Running by right there, oh! Walking up, sing. Walking up, sing. Walking up, sing. Walking up, sing. That's all I see, people. Walking up, sing. That's all I see, people. Walking up, sing. Sing, sing, sing. Walking up, sing. He's gonna drive right now, sing. As this white pulls up, sing. Right there. Sing, sing, sing. And this whitey is pulling up, and this is turning right now. The other truck was turning, synced again, and he synced. There's a dog barking as his white truck starts to drive. Over there somewhere. And then they're gonna bark synced when I cross the street, probably. And they're somehow walking a dog over here. I don't know if they're thinking this car is turning synced. The dog stopped barking. Did they stop barking, synced? I don't know when they stopped barking. I bet it was synced. And I hear a car beeping, and then someone stepping up on a porch right here. her car like beep, beep, locking or something. Sink. 64 sink. Gonna sink with the other car sink. Sink, sink with the other car sink. And that's the house where they're walking up on the porch. It's at the corner of that house. And the other car was at the intersection when they synced. And they synced. Succinct. Succinctly synced. Succinctly sync. There's a dog barking around the whitey drives by me. It's a different dog. It's over there, I think. And then, I don't know if that was one. I think the church bell is synchronizing here. I hear a church bell. I think it's synchronizing. I think it's synchronized. I saw someone with a red shirt walk in front of me, and then there's this white car pulled up the turn, and then this is driving behind me as he turns. And then turn it, sync. Turn it, sync. And then this red car was driving out when he turned it synced, and then he's gonna sync again, and it synced, and it synced. And then the red shirt is walking off of the curb when the red car drove by me. He's getting a blue car with a red shirt. And then there's a sound, whatever that sound was, like a powered drill or something. And then there's a bike riding out in front of me, and I heard a sound behind me when he rode out in front of me. Maybe it was that car. I don't know. They're gonna do the sounds again. Gonna do the sounds with his camel hat. And he's talking next to me. And then it's gonna sing. Oh. Pulling up to the intersection right now as I'm pulling up to the intersection. And then there's a white SUV. See? And then it's turning. And then sink. Sink. It's that truck. There's a train horn right now. You hear it? Sink. Remember that truck from the last video? You synced through the red car and then he synced through the blue car later on in the video. Go watch it. He synced perfectly. And I see Whitey's sync. I see Whitey's way up the street sync. There's a sound over here that was synced with the syncs. They're synced. Yeah, sync. And Whitey's gonna, there's Whitey pulling up sync. And then Domino's car with the Whitey sync. And then when's the Whitey gonna sync? Is it gonna be at the street? Is Whitey gonna sink at the street? At the sidewalk of the street? And then this car behind that car is turning at the same time as the other car drives by me. And then sink with the arm out the window, sink the 555, I think. And then the other red car is turning as he pulls up to the intersection. And then there's another red car, and then I don't know. Here comes the alley though. Is it gonna sink? Truck's turning in front of me there. Was he a sink? I think that's the black car with the silver car. I think it was a black car. Sink. I see a red truck turning over there, guys. This red car drives by. I see the sinks. And the train horn. Did you hear the train horn right there at the same time? Sink. Box truck, sink. Walk it up, sink. And I think I see the sink head turning. I think I saw a sink head turning behind me. I think I see a 8699 sink head. 8699. Sink. Sink. I think I see sink heads up the street from me. I can see the sink heads. I think I see the sink. This guy is waving at me. That usually means it's a sink head. I don't know. Is this guy a sink head? Is this I thought it was 33. Is this guy gonna be a sink head? Just turns it off right there, and then there's a train horn. Walking up, sink. And it's a little late. Is the sink head? I think the train horn is sinking again. This yellow car looks very synchronized right now. And then this car is synchronized at the other side. Oh! Walk it up, sink. Walk it up, sink. This car is turning as this one's driving by me. Oh! Walk it up, sink. And then there was a red car back at the other intersection that looked synced with the other red car. She just turned her car off as I was walking up to it. But yeah, there was two red cars and the train horn at the same time. And his tan truck, and I think he's synchronizing. I think he's synced. There's a Pura truck and a tail lift at the same time. I think he just synced. I think he just turned synced on the lawnmower. Why'd he butt sync? Tail lift sink. Sink, sink. Silver car sink. Is there gonna be a black car right now? Red car. Whitey bot sink. Whitey bot sink. Whitey bot sink. Sink, sink, sink. And then white truck. Right as the red car stops at the stop sign. And then he's gonna turn and sink. Oh, there's white car sink. White car sink. This guy with the red shirt is gonna stop walking right now. Sink, sink, sink. What was that? That wasn't sink. I see red and blue behind me and a red car in front of me that met the Domino's car at the stop sign. The train horn is going off right when the Domino's car turns. Tan car sink. And he was smiling in the tan car, and I think he's touching his nose. The train horn goes honk. And the train horn sink, and the tan car sink, and the red car sink, and they all sink, and everyone sink. And then there's this car, and they look sink, and I think they're sinking. The tan car is turning, when he's stopping, he's sinking. This guy on a bike. There's a bike coming up over here. He's turning the corner as the bike is next to me. And I always see this guy on this bike. And this is white and it's sink. Sink, sink, sink. Sink, sink, sink. Yeah, I always see that guy that's on that bike. He looks synced with the other bike. And the train horn. And the train horn. I heard some other horn there. I don't know if it's a truck. I hear the train horn over here, and I hear something else over here that's like, I don't know if it's another train. I think it's another train or something. Tail lift sink, sink, sink. Every time I see you, tail lift sink. Every tail lift I ever see sink. And the train horn. And the train horn. And I feel like the train's gonna pull up, sink in front of me. It's gonna walk up to the tracks or something. Yeah. Is it gonna be synced? The train was synced this morning on this morning's video, remember? It was synced with the guy getting in or pulling off in the car right after I said that he was gonna sync with it. I was like, the train's gonna come out synced, watch. And then it did exactly that. And I was like, oh shit. This tail lift just turned sync, 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 sync. Let's add this. I think it was syncing at the door. I think it was syncing at the door, the train. Perhaps. Sing, sing, sing. That car is always sing. Every time I see it, sing, sing, sing. It's blue car and it syncs with red and blue cars. Sing, sing, sing. I think that was sink. Sink, sink, sink. And the white truck is going through the intersection right now. It's the last car. And they just do it all synced. And this car is synced. I don't know. Maybe not. But these are both red and they're synced. And then the white and it's synced and they're synced. And they're synced and they're synced and they're synced. And train horn is going off again. And wait, are these tan and tan, I think? Or I think these are both tan. And it's meeting me right here. I think they were synced. I think it's synced. And then this is tan. And then here's a cop coming. And it's synced. There's a whitey bot synced. Whitey bot synced. Synced. Let's see what the cop does. Let's see what the cop does. Is he gonna sing? Is a cop gonna sing? It's not over. He might sink over there. And I think he was sinking over here with the whiteys. And the other whitey was at the train tracks. Is he gonna sink? I don't know where the cop went. These are both blue and that car is turning in front of me. And then sitting with his truck door open. Okay, now they're getting out. Was it synced? I don't know, man. But let's walk up to one more intersection. This car door is opening right when I turn onto the sidewalk. And 33 sync. 933. 33 sync. And then I think he just started it when the other silver car drove behind it with the 33 and he's taking off right here. And then I just pulled up at the same time. And he's sober too. And then black. And he's got a 99. And I think he was synced. And then that white car was in front of me and the white car was next to me. And then there's two other white cars in front of me. And they're at the door where they stopped. And they're synced. And they sync. Oh, that wasn't sync. Is he gonna pull up to the intersection? Sync. There's a car door when he pulls up to the intersection. This car right here. Sync. Sync. 86 sync. 86 sync. Walking up sync.